All right, guys, let's talk about hype cycles and how it affects your business. I think we are headed towards a hype cycle for sports cards. The National has proved to me that this is not going to end anytime soon. You all saw the videos of the National where people were lined up for just blocks of people waiting to go inside, and then just inside, once they were inside, it was just nonstop people. And it's been like that for a couple years now, but it seems like every year it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And there are more and more people that are entering the hobby that we love. So once we get into the fall months, fall and winter is usually when the biggest hype cycle comes. That's when people are really into this, and you see a lift in sales. And it's crazy to think about because through the summer, it hasn't really slowed down a whole lot for shows. And eBay side, most people have slowed down a little bit. I've actually gone up a little bit just because I have been taking it more seriously and listing more cards. Before we get into it, I'll let you guys know my name is Dell and I sling cardboard to feed my kids. I went full-time trading cards about a month ago, a little bit over a month ago now. And I am sharing my journey with you so that you can learn tips and tricks along the way, and we can bounce ideas off of each other. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, I would appreciate it if you'd subscribe. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so just big picture wise, I don't really handle the hype cycle any differently than I do anything else in my normal day-to-day trading card business. That being said, I try to keep a little capital for when things are down, but it's really tough because I don't have a ton of capital. So cash flow is a huge part of business. It's probably the biggest part of business. If you don't have cash to deploy and buy opportunities, then it makes it a lot more difficult to continue to grow. So it's tougher on my end just because I don't have a lot of capital. I'm starting off pretty low. I've been doing this for about 8 years, somewhere around there. And I've just been snowballing everything all together and building up my inventory. But now I've gone full time. I'm actually taking a bit of a paycheck out of it. So that changes the way things operate for me and gives me a little bit less capital to work with. That being said, I like to buy heavy in the summer for football and Pokemon. And I never stop buying Pokemon. But I buy heavy for football and basketball in particular, and I slow down a little bit on the baseball, even though baseball usually sees a little bit of a bump in the playoffs as well. And Pokemon 30th anniversary is coming around, and that hype cycle is going to be insane too. So basically what I'm expecting is a lot more sales for everything. I think everything is going to start bumping up here, and I'm hopeful for that. But that doesn't really change anything as far as holding on to stuff for me. Like, I have everything listed that I'm going to list. I'm going to continue to list more. And all of my cards that I take with me to card shows go out on my table. All of my sealed inventory continues to go out with me, except for the stuff that I'm holding for the long term. And I don't play the game of speculation on what's going to go up. I don't speculate on players anymore. I don't speculate on cards in particular. That I do buy what I think are going to be the hot names going into the season, but I typically like to sell that stuff before the season. If you watch the charts, most of the stuff drops after the seasons start. Really what you're doing is you're selling into the hype. The people get excited about what could happen and ignore what does happen for the most part. So there is a big difference between being a flipper and being a reseller, in my opinion. Flippers are playing the speculation game, and they are getting stuff in as fast as they can and selling it as fast as they can. And I'm doing that as well. But I have the patience to hold on to stuff as things go. I don't think that flippers do. And honestly, most of the stuff that I'm buying, like when I go to a card show, I will buy names at card shows. I will buy, like for Pokemon, I will buy higher end cards that I have hopes that will sell later on. But when I buy, I actually plan on holding it and not having it sell right away. That's typically not the way it works. Usually you got to wait for the right buyer to come around. And pretty much what I'm doing with sports is I'm selling to the guys that are speculating. I mean, really, I love to sell to collectors, but there in the sports card market, there is less of that than there are of the flippers. And as long as my margins are there, I have no problem selling to those flippers. Let them be the ones to get burnt. That's the way I look at it. Like, if they want to buy something to flip, by all means, go ahead. As long as I can make my margins and I can continue to feed my family with the cardboard I'm selling. You know, I see a lot of guys that get upset about that stuff, and it just doesn't bother me. When you have repackers coming around to your tables and they sticker everything and they give you a percentage off of everything. You know, if they want to buy it 90%, I'm fine with that, because my margins, the way I typically work, if I could sell at 90%, I'm happy. I like doing that. So when I get a guy that wants to come around and buy half my table because he's going to sell it as a repack, sure, by all means, take it. No skin off my back. Other people get offended by that. They want to sell right at 100% of market. Well, that's kind of tough sometimes. Although it doesn't look like it when you see the national sticker prices are at 130% of market and there's people still selling. That's not how I operate. But I've been in this market long enough that I've seen what happens these times a year, and usually it starts to pick up again. We come out of the summer months and people start getting excited about football and they start buying football again. And once football starts rolling around, basketball starts to get a little bit of hype as well. And all of this time, we're going to have the 30th anniversary for Pokemon going on at the same time. And people are going to be so excited about that as well. So I think this is the time of year where things are going to start picking up again, even though they really haven't slowed down a whole lot. I know there are people that make videos saying that they have. It hasn't slowed down for me anyways. At least the foot traffic at the shows is still crazy, and my sales have been steady. So that being said, I think things are going to start picking up. All right, guys, that is going to do it for today. Let's end the speculation talk and catch you guys on the next one. Peace.